Alright guys, gonna give you just a quick walkthrough of how the projects are doing at the shop here. Mostly focusing in the assembly bay. So this is our 54 Chevy Belair build. The 54 sits on an Art Morrison chassis. It's powered by a supercharged LSA motor. Features Bose wheels with Willwood brakes. And Steve and the guys are mostly working on installing glass right now. So they did the windshield and the back window yesterday, and now they're working on the side glass. But some of the bright work is going on it. Starting to look really sharp. So you can see the Dynamat. We pretty much Dynamat all of our cars for sound deadening. So you got the polished column here. It's a Flaming River. It'll be running vintage air. Should be just a wonderful cruiser. I really like how that two-tone turned out. So next we have our 68 Chevelle Convertible. This car showed up as a partially done project that we took over. Again, any of these builds you guys can see on our website in full detail. We heavily document all the restorations. So you can just go to MetalWorksClassics.com. Paintwork really turned out beautiful on this. It's running shot wheels. The replica of the family Truckster project is sitting above the Chevelle, and that one's kind of on hold right now, so not a whole lot of progress on that. So next year we have our 67 Mustang, which is a clone of a California Special. Again, the guys got the front sheet metal on it early last week. We just mounted up the American Racing wheels last week. We've actually got a dyno video on the YouTube channel. You can actually check out this engine being dynoed. So here we have an Art Morrison chassis that's all ready to go, ready to be shipped out to our customer. This is for our 57 Chevy. You see it's running an LS3 with an automatic. Just waiting on a few more components here before we ship it out to our customer. Running a Rick's gas tank. The headers are by Ultimate Headers. And this has a Holly front drive kit on it, which is blacked out. Has a really nice look to it. We've also got an electronic e-stop mounted up here. This is our 1,000 horsepower 55 Chevy build we did, just about to leave for our customer. This is sitting on a Morrison chassis with a Whipple supercharged Wagner Motorsports engine in it, running forged line wheels with disc brakes. Guys did a great job creating the two-tone paint job on this with the combination of the gloss and the suede black paint. There's lots of footage on our YouTube channel of this car. If you want to see more details on it, just check out the channel. Another Art Morrison chassis that's ready to accept the body of our 55 Chevy build. That one's over in the body shop. Again, running another custom Wagner motor. This one features their independent rear suspension. Can't help but laugh when I see this bumper here. This is for our 63 Lincoln build. Which is up on the lift over here. These got to be about the biggest bumper brackets I've ever seen on a car. So our COE project, known as the mother of all COEs. That kind of came in as more of a simple wiring job and has snowballed into a bunch of additional work for the guys. Again, here's our 63 Lincoln. Tony's working on running fuel lines. It's got a supercharged LSA motor in it. It's very close to firing up. Quick look underneath here. Really love these wheels. These are the Race Line Billet series. Alright, here's a quick look at our 68 build. Just brought it in because it's raining outside. This one is driving now. Basically fully mocked up and driving before it would head into body work. So this is running a 427 LS7. You can see the dry sump setup. I've been hearing it's definitely a very fun car to drive. So it's running Budnick wheels with Willwood brakes. You can see the car is pretty heavily caged, as it's going to see some race action, probably a little bit of road course and autocross. Running a 6-speed manual. Alright, we're in the fab shop here. Normally the loudest part of the shop. We've got a moment of quiet here. So we're doing a body swap on this Ford F100 up here. So essentially we're just took the body of this truck off its original chassis, set it onto an Art Morrison chassis. It was a long box truck, so we have put a new short box on it, which obviously have to be painted. But for the most part, it's a body swap is just not touching the body and just setting it onto a new chassis and drivetrain. Here's a quick look at the Art Morrison. As you can see, there's 2 more Art Morrison chassis sitting underneath it, getting ready for builds. So the truck is LS powered, so apologies to any Ford and Ford fans. But it's running an LS3. Here's our 5-window Chevy truck build. Again, sitting on an Art Morrison chassis. It's another Marquet replacement bed. You can see they got the vintage air mocked up, as well as some of the wiring, the steering column. And the 63 Riviera build. Just starting to play around with the front end with how we're going to run the headlights, but they've got the motor all mocked up. You can see I got the radiator set in there as well, all just for mock-up purposes. The last thing Tom did was work with making the throttle body work with the factory air cleaner. We actually have an entire separate build vlog on YouTube of this car, so you can see a bunch of this. But that was the last step, was making that factory air cleaner work with the throttle body for the multi-port fuel injection. So again, this car sits on an Art Morrison chassis. This is a builder's chassis that we had to heavily modify to make work for this application. It's got all brand new floors built in it. Really beautiful work. Again, you can see all of that on the vlog of this particular build. Got a big back glass Chevy Truck Cab that's just in the beginning phases of metal fab. You can see it was acid dipped and they've just started some of the metal fab. And here's the Art Morrison chassis for that cab. Then our last project is our Trans Am, which is right in the middle of metal work and fab. This is a partially built project. by another shop that we've taken over. So I'm actually not entirely sure of all the components underneath it. It's not Art Morrison. I think it's actually maybe Detroit Speed up here in the front, but don't quote me on that. So this one's just in the beginning phases of metalwork and fabrication. So that's kind of a quick look at what's going on in the shop, guys. Thanks for checking it out. And again, you can see all these builds in detail on our website, MetalWorksClassics.com. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.